Welcome to 3DOptix Tutorials. Today we are going to review the outliner and ribbon bar in 3DOptix. First we need to create a file. I pre-populated this file so we can just move into the project. Okay, now when we are working in 3DOptix 3D layout, the outliner and ribbon bar is where we will spend a lot of time as these hold the parameters we need to design our optical system. We'll start with the outliner bar on the left, and first, as we can see, we can use it in a tabbed view. We can also minimize the bar and maximize the bar in case we want to see a full view. We'll keep it maximized for now. Okay, now on the top we have a few tabs. The first tab is the Catalog tab, and this allows us to search the 3DOptix optomechanical catalog. Down here we have a search feature and also a filter drop-down to sort the catalog. And this is really nice because when we find what we want, we can simply drag and drop into the 3D layout, such as this. We can drag in light source, and we'll drag in a detector as well. Okay, the next tab is the Parts tab, and this is where we can find currently everything in our optical system. So right now we have a rectangular detector, a user-defined light source, and as always, our global coordinate system. Okay, and here we can interact with our optical system by left-clicking on the expand icon here next to the component to see the local coordinate system attached to each surface, and also see the face we are scrolling over as it highlights in the 3D layout. Later on, we'll see this with CAD objects. You can also right-click on a part, which brings up an options window from here. This is great in case you have a really full optical system and it's hard to click on the actual component in the 3D layout individually. Now the options window is the same if you click on the component in the 3D layout or in the outliner bar. So if we go to our rectangular detector here in the 3D layout and click on it, we see we will get the same options here. And the last tab is the All tab. And this just brings the previous two tabs together into a single view. So we have our optomechanical catalog here and our parts here. Okay, let's move to the ribbon bar. Now the ribbon bar is where we can set individual component settings from rotating them in the 3D layout to turning light sources on and off. This is a really important tool as it holds the specific parameters we will need to customize our optical system components. Let's go over to the outline bar and drag and drop another light source in. Okay, go ahead and click on our new light source. Now, this will bring up our ribbon bar here on the right. As you can see, we have some options. Okay, the first two parameters are common to most optical and CAD components in 3DOptix, the part info and the move rotate options. And the third to last and last option, which is duplicate and delete. So duplicate is here and delete is here. The light source specific options are the light source settings. So light source settings here, light on, and also multiple objects. Okay, let's go back over to the outliner bar and drag and drop another detector into our 3D layout. We will click on the detector. Okay, this will bring up the ribbon bar again, and from here we only have one unique option for the detector. That's detector element. Okay, let's add a lens really quick and see what its options are. We're going to add a lens from the Optics catalog, and we'll just select the first lens in the list. We'll click on the lens, and as you can see from the ribbon bar, the unique option is Optics settings. Now this will bring up the lens prescription window if we go to here in optical settings, but we'll go over this in another video. Finally, we have two types of CAD objects which have two different ribbon bar options. Let's go to the outliner bar and grab an imported CAD object. So we will go to private to just pull in one of my objects. Okay, we'll use the tower. Okay, imported CAD objects only have the common options available to them. Part info, move, rotate, duplicate, and delete. However, 3DOptix catalog optomechanics have additional options. So let's go to the outliner bar and grab a cage system CAD object. So we'll go here to the filter drop down, go to cage system, and grab one of the larger CAD objects. Maybe one of these guys. Okay. And let's click and see what our options are. First, if the mount can hold an optic, which this can, you have the option under optical settings to search the optics catalog and auto mount an optic. So if we search for an optic here, we'll bring up the list and we put an optic into the mount. If we have a cage system component, which again this is, we have a few other settings. So we can extend out cage construction rods. And if we have a cage plate on rods, we can move it among the rods. So let's look at how that works really quick. So this is a cage plate. Oh, that cage plate is too small. Okay, instead of a cage plate, we'll just drag another one of these mounts and we will drag and drop on the cage rods. Okay, and now if we go back into the cage settings, we can see this has an additional setting of moving along the cage rods. And finally, if the mount has a post and post holder, we have an option to extend the mount up or down on that post. So click here and change that, and it'll move up and down. The outliner bar and ribbon bar are very important to the design of optical systems, and I hope this gives you a better understanding of their functions in 3D optics.